don't need to buy any more books, but I'm going to. I don't want to hear a damn word, okay? Yes, I did just post a book haul, but that is just the way the cookie crumbles, okay? I didn't choose this bookworm life. The bookworm life chose me, okay? So let's get into it, shall we? I bought all of these books at Savers, and I haven't looked at them in weeks since I bought them, but I remember going in there and being shocked by how many good old school horror books that I found. I have two full bags of Savers books, and I'm just gonna jump right into it. This book, Jaws, I was so excited to find because I love Jaws the film. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a classic. It's about a small town sheriff who has to deal with the man-eating shark in their small town, and it's filled with likable characters, an amazing monologue about the USS Indianapolis. It's one of the greatest scenes in cinema, if you ask me. So I know that the book is different. It changes things up a bit. There's like an affair, there's a mafia subplot, so I've always kind of stayed away from actually reading this book, but then I found this copy and I got really excited, so I think I'm going to read it while I'm in Martha's Vineyard, which is happening tomorrow, and that's where the film was shot, so I would like to do a vlog on this while I'm in Martha's Vineyard and hopefully show off some scenes or some locations where the movie was filmed, and I think it will be really nice. Let me know if you've read Jaws and your thoughts on it, because I'd love to know. Next, I found Haunted by Chuck Palahniuk. So I haven't read anything by Chuck Palahniuk, but I've seen this book listed on most disturbing books ever, so I've heard this has really disturbing content and I'm kind of a little nervous about it, but I really wanna try to challenge myself to see if I can read disturbing stuff, and this I had to pick up, and the cover is really creepy. I don't know anything about it, but next I found Mr. Mercedes. So I actually just started watching the show Mr. Mercedes, or I watched the whole first season of Mr. Mercedes, which I believe is the focus of the first book, and I loved it so much. It's a cop drama where this person has killed people with his Mercedes, a lot of people, and he starts tormenting or taunting the detective who was on the case and is now retired, and it's just, the cast in the show is so great. Brendan Gleeson, I believe it's Brendan. There's a lot of Gleesons, but he's fantastic, and I love his Irish accent, and I love the Grady character. It's Grady, right? Or is it Brady? Brady Hartsfield. He is psychotic, but you also get an insight into his home life as to why he's the way he is, and it almost makes you feel sympathetic for him, so it was really walking that fine line, and it made me feel uncomfortable that I felt that way for that serial killer. So I'm interested to see if the book is the same. I'm assuming it is. I started the second season, which goes in a whole different direction. It becomes a completely different show and goes more on the supernatural side. So I haven't finished it, but I really want to get into this and relive the magic that was the first season. Oh, so this is a copy of Duma Key without the book jacket. I don't know much about this book, but I really want to read it, and I've seen it on people's recommendation lists. I honestly don't know what it's about, but I had to pick it up. I wish it had the book cover. I know that when I did a Stephen King tour, the publishers for this book, which is Scribner, they gifted him with a frog statue that's in his front yard, and I think that has something to do with the book, obviously. So I don't know what that has to do with the book, but I'll find out. Next, I picked up Under the Dome, which is fucking ginormous. Are you kidding? It's about a town, a small town, that mysteriously gets a dome over it and they can't leave. And I think it's about that and how the people in the town deal with being isolated and not being able to leave this town. Sounds interesting, but it's very thick. It's very thick. I don't like them that thick. I don't like them that thick. Oh! I was so excited to find this. Desperation. I recently found this cover of The Regulators, which matches this. So let me get it. These two covers, they go together. And man, aren't they so freaking beautiful? Oh, I love it. So Desperation is about a group of people who are traveling down the highway and they get pulled over by this cop who's very, very peculiar, very, very strange and violent, and he's got something going on. And they get put in jail with a bunch of other people who've also encountered this crazy guy, and there's a lot of sinister stuff going on. And I haven't finished the book, but what I did read, which was a lot of it, it was really good. It was really creepy and unsettling, and I just love that whole small town vibe, and I love that they were on the road. I love road horror and how they find themselves trapped in this jail cell with a maniac who is unpredictable. So that it felt very dangerous. I didn't know who would survive, who wouldn't, and I think there's a lot of mythos behind what happened to him that's like dealing with minds and stuff. So I didn't get into that part, but it was really good what I did read. And now that I have this beautiful cover, I might go back and try to finish it. So I found this, The Keep. The Keep, I saw this in Paperbacks from Hell, I believe. It is, let me read the synopsis for you. In a remote Romanian castle, the Nazis encounter an evil even more awesome than themselves, and two lovers battle the ultimate horror, awakened from centuries of darkness to feed on living men. Nazis, who I think get killed. So that's good. I want to see Nazis get killed. And it's just so cool. Look at this I fucking love this cover. They do not make covers like this anymore, so I was pumped to find this. I really want to read this. Then I found a copy of The Snowman, which I heard the movie is terrible, like the worst movie ever made, and I haven't watched it, but I think I heard good things about the story. It's about a cop who's trying to uncover this serial killer, I think, and I love the snowy setting, and I just wanted to have a book with Michael Fassbender on the cover, so. Then I found a copy of Coma, which I think I found another copy of this a few times back when I went to Savers, but it had a different cover, and I like this cover a lot. It's so simple, but it's creepy as hell if you ask me, and I think it's a medical thriller. So it's not exactly horror, but so they call it a minor surgery. But Nancy Greeley, Sean Berman, and a dozen others, all admitted to Memorial Hospital for routine procedures, are victims of the same inexplicable, hideous tragedy on the operating table. They never wake up again. The idea of going in for a routine procedure and never waking up again is absolutely terrifying, and it's something that can happen to any of us. So I think horror, medical horror is, I haven't read a ton of it, but it freaks me out because it's all possible. And then I picked up a copy of My Sweet Audrina by V.C. Andrews. I've been finding a lot of V.C. Andrews in Savers and Goodwill, and I've been slowly picking them up. I haven't read anything by her, but I know she's like fundamental to the horror genre, and she got a lot of people into reading when they were younger. So, and these covers are amazing. I want to read them all. I think I picked up Flowers in the Attic. Yes, I did. So I'm slowly picking up her books. I haven't gotten into them yet. My Sweet Audrina. So let me read the synopsis. It's a haunting story of love and deceit, innocence and betrayal, and the suffocating power of parental love. I don't know. I don't like family stuff, and I know that V.C. Andrews has a lot of like incest stuff. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of abuse in this, so it's not one I'm jumping to read. Then I picked up a copy of The Fever. This is the author of Coma, Fever, which I can't remember if I already picked up too, but I think the cover is different. I just love these old school covers, and they're so simple. Simplistic covers freak me out than more over-the-top blood and gore. So this is another medical thriller. Charles Martel is a brilliant cancer researcher who discovers his own daughter is the victim of a leukemia resulting from a gigantic chemical plant conspiracy, a conspiracy that not only promises to kill her, but will destroy him as a doctor and a man if he tries to fight it. So yeah, this looks like it's about parents and their fight to keep their daughter alive, which are always good. I really like stories like that because parental love is so strong. You can't stop a parent from trying to save their child. I have so many books in here. It's insane. I found this copy of Firestarter, which is just so beautiful. I actually recently bought a copy of this on eBay, but it was a white copy. So when I saw the black, I was like, okay, I need the black. I need the black, okay? I need them both. And they're going to be making this, they're remaking this movie. Blumhouse is remaking it. And it's about an 8-year-old girl named Charlie. And she has abilities to turn things on fire or set things on fire. It sounds really good. I really want to read it someday. I have so many Stephen King books to get to. It's insane. I feel like there's just no time, you know? I have all the time in the world. I'm just lazy. Oh no, I just realized the back cover is missing. I picked up this copy of Different Seasons, which I don't think I have. It's a short story collection, and this person really fucked this book up. Couldn't you have taken better care of it? Whatever your name is that's on this book, who are you? Who are you people that destroy books? I would like a word with you. Then I picked up this copy of Needful Things, which is a hardcover copy. I actually found the paperback copy of this last year at a thrift store or used bookstore. It's a Castle Rock story. I don't want to read this whole thing, the whole synopsis to you, but it's basically about a small town where bad stuff is happening. That could describe every Stephen King novel in existence. Ooh, here's another V.C. Andrews book, Hidden Jewel. These covers are just so friggin' cool, man. Oh, I love them. It's set in New Orleans in a mansion. I'm assuming there's some like family secrets, as all her books seem to have. And I just love the setting. I love the New Orleans, Louisiana swamp setting. I feel like it creates a really unsettling atmosphere. And there's so much history in New Orleans, and there's so much paranormal stuff in that area that it's very fitting to set a horror story in New Orleans. So another V.C. Andrews book, Ruby. This cover isn't as cool as the others because it doesn't have that, whatever that's called when you open up and there's another cover. And this is another one set in the bayou. Then I found this copy of Bird Box. I haven't really wanted to read Bird Box because I saw the movie and I feel like what more could the book release. I saw the movie several times, so I'm just not in the mood for it, but I might be someday. And I wasn't in the mood to buy it from like Barnes & Noble. So when I found this for like $4, I was like, okay, maybe that's a sign that I do need to read it. I recently read Josh Malerman's The House at the Bottom of the Lake and I loved it, so I do really want to read more of his stuff. I still need to read his latest release, which is Goblin. Can we talk about the most beautiful book in the world? That book cover is so friggin' cool. It looks like an old school horror book. So I do want to get to this eventually, but I'm not like running to get to it. You know what I'm saying? Then I picked up All the Missing Girls because I just felt like I needed it. I always see this. It always draws me in whenever I see it in the store, but I'm like, I'm not that big on the thrillers, so I don't know if I will read it. I tend to buy these books and then they sit on my shelf forever. So when I saw this, it was only $2.99. I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I should get it. It's been 10 years since Nicolette Farrell left Cooley Ridge, 10 years since she broke up with Tyler, the man she thought she'd marry, 10 years since her best friend Corrine disappeared, never to be heard from again. When the call comes that her father is ailing, Nick is living in Philadelphia, light years away from her younger self. She drops everything to care for her dad, but within days of her return, another girl goes missing, and Nick experiences a terrifying sense of deja vu. This kind of sounds a lot like Sharp Objects, those vibes of returning to your small town. I love that trope. You leave your small town to get away from something bad that happens, and then you return and that bad thing happens again, and it's up to you for some reason to figure out why. So this sounds really interesting and I really want to read it. I mean, obviously I want to read all of these books. Why would I buy them if I didn't? Next, I shrieked when I saw this cover because I just think it's so cool and old school. For the Love of Audrey Rose. I mean, are you for real, man? So Audrey Rose is about a man who believes that his daughter has been reincarnated into another 10-year-old girl. So he starts like kind of stalking the family, and then the family are like, dude, what's the fucking deal here? Can you leave us alone? And he's like, that's my daughter. And then their daughter's having these nightmares that are related to the accident that took this guy's daughter. So it's really interesting. And the movie I thought was really good for most of it until it goes off the rails into a different direction that I didn't like. It becomes like a courtroom drama at one point. But the supernatural reincarnation stuff was so fascinating to me. And Anthony Hopkins plays the father who believes his daughter's been reincarnated. And he's just fantastic in everything he's in. So I did like a majority of that movie. I just didn't like where it went. And I'm kind of wary of reading the book because it's written by Frank DeFelitta. I don't know. But he wrote The Entity. And I fucking hate The Entity. Okay? I hate that book so much. But the cover's beautiful. Yeah, it's the same guy. So, I don't know, man. But I needed this. This cover? Can we talk about it just forever? It's just the coolest cover ever. Oh, I just love old school covers. They get me going. And then I found this copy of Stephen King's The Revival. It's just Revival. It's about a small town, reverend, demons, real and metaphorical, and shit probably goes wrong. Am I right? Maybe. And then this is actually a separate haul I went to. This was all on the same day. All on the same day, all these books. Like, are you kidding? This was my local used bookstore. Books are only $1. Only $1. I found this copy of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and other stories. I love Sleepy Hollow so much. I think I've mentioned this in a previous video. And I love this cover. It's cool. I want to collect all covers of Sleepy Hollow. So if you have any cool covers and you want to send them my way, my P.O. box is listed in the comments. I'm just kidding. But am I though? And then I found The House with the Clock in Its Walls, which is a middle grade horror. I saw the movie directed by Eli Roth on a plane ride home from Switzerland when I was dying. I was so sick, but that movie kept me going for the flight that was 10 hours long and I wanted to die on. And it made it not so bad. That movie was pretty good. And not a lot of people talk about it. So it's about a boy who goes to live with his like uncle or something. It's his uncle, right? His uncle, and there's a lot of weird stuff in the house, and he finds out he's like a magician or a wizard or something. And there's like a lot of history, mysterious stuff going on, and yeah, it's a really cute coming of age story with a lot of dangerous elements in it, and I really enjoy the movie, so I want to see if the book is as good. And then I found this copy of Out. I think this is a thriller. It's a Japanese thriller. It tells the story of a brutal murder in the Tokyo suburbs as a young mother who works the night shift making box lunches strangles her abusive husband and then seeks the help of her coworkers to dispose of the body and cover up her crime. Good for her. That sounds amazing. And this cover is pretty cool. These are not books, but I did also pick these up in the same trip. I picked up this VHS copy of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Only $1. And then I found this, The Tower of Terror at Savers. Do you know how long I've been wanting to rewatch this and I couldn't find it streaming anywhere, and then it was on YouTube? But to find this, I shrieked. I shrieked! I will watch this every year for Halloween. And then I just picked up the Underworld trilogy because I like Underworld, and this was only $2.99, and it's all 3 of them, so. And then I picked up A History of Violence, which I remember watching years ago. This is David Cronenberg, and I remember it being really graphic. So yeah, there you have it. That is everything I picked up at Savers and the local thrift store. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. Go to your local thrift stores or used bookstores. You will find amazing stuff. Most of my books that I've been finding are from thrift stores, and I spend like very little money on all these cool ass books. Like, and if you are looking for Stephen King books, if you're looking to get into Stephen King, that's not Stephen King, I don't know why I held that up. If you're looking to get into Stephen King collecting, that's your best bet. Go there. Get your Stephen King books at a thrift store. I've slowly recently become a fan of the paperbacks. I used to just collect the hardcovers, but I love the paperbacks. I love that beat up look, but not this beat up. this motherfucker. But I still had to get it because I have no control. But this copy of Firestarter, like, are you joking? Are you kidding? Also, if you're interested in looking for Fear Street, if you're interested in collecting Fear Street or Goosebumps, that's where you're gonna find them. But they're a little harder to find now, but you'll find them if you try. And it's like Christmas when you do find them. So I have a problem, but it could be worse. It could be worse. I don't need to buy any more books, but I'm going to. Nobody can tell me what to do, okay? So let me know, did you see any books in this haul that you liked? Let me know how you deal with your book buying addiction, and leave a comment. If you've made it this far, maybe leave a book emoji. A book emoji. There's plenty of book emojis. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more spooky book hauls like this. Horror book recommendation videos. I need to do more of that. Horror vlogs. Horror movie videos. Yeah, let me know what else you're interested in. I'll do whatever you want. No, I won't. No, I won't. I shouldn't open the doors. Open those floodgates. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm about to go on vacation, and I think I'm gonna read Jaws, and I will catch you next time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.